الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وصحبه وأهل بيته أجمعين، وبعد، فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ولا تسبوا الذين يدعون من دون الله فيسبوا الله عدوا بغير علم. كذلك زينا لكل أمة عملهم ثم إلى ربهم مرجعهم فينبئهم بما كانوا يعملون. صدق الله العظيم. وقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم: لا تسبوا الأموات فإنهم قد أفضوا إلى ما قدموا، أو كما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم. رواه البخاري في كتاب الجنائز. Respected chief guest of today's program, Professor Arif Saab, Professor of Sabu City College, and dear all, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In the month of Muharram, especially from 1st till 9th, big programs are conducted by some people only to abuse and criticize the dead, among whom some were totally wrong, some were partly wrong, and the rest were absolutely right and innocent. If someone abuses and divides the innocent dead, then it's totally wrong, and every Muslim counts it's wrong. But the people who committed wrong things, perpetrated crimes, took detrimental steps against the nation and humanity, introduced bad traditions, and misguided the slaves of Allah. About them, some of us may say, yes, they must be reviled and criticized even after their death. But believe me, brothers, it's of no avail in normal conditions. Rather, it is detrimental. Why? Because in common circumstances, prohibition and condemnation of their wrong things, crimes, detrimental steps, bad tradition, doesn't rely at all on abusing them. Because Sharia itself already has evident teachings against their wrong things. For example, suppose if someone introduced the tradition of entering a masjid on back feet and he declared it a virtual task in Islam, then to condemn this bad tradition, we don't rely at all on abusing his personality. Rather, we will say it is an un-Islamic deed, an unlawful addition to Islam, because it is nowhere found in the glorious Quran and the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. While It is the exposition of a man to an unnecessary difficulty and detriment. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Baqarah, ayah 186, يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ بِكُمُ الْيُسْرَ وَلَا يُرِيدُ بِكُمُ الْعُسْرَ. Allah wants and intends ease for you, and He doesn't intend hardship for you. And the beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is reported to have said, "Inna ad-deena yusr." Religion is very easy. And the beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is also reported to have said, من أحدث في أمرنا هذا ما ليس منه فهو رد، أو كما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم رواه مسلم. Whosoever innovates in our this religion the thing which is not from it, so it is rejected. That's all. So according to this point of view, we will say that abusing the dead is a useless task, and every useless task opposes the beauty of a Muslim, opposes the beauty of the Islam of a Muslim. As per the Tirmidhi Sharif Hadith, the beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is reported to have said, "Min husni Islamil mar'i tarkuhu ma la ya'nih." It is the beauty of the Islam of a man not to consider the things which is not beneficial for him. So it is a useless task. The second reason is that if we abuse bad figures and detrimental personalities even after their dead, then it will arouse the anger of their alive followers and hurt their sentiments. Then they will find a chance to abuse true figures and righteous personalities which we don't like, and a battle may take place. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-An'am, ayah 109, وَلَا تَسُبُّوا الَّذِينَ يَدْعُونَ مِن دون الله فيسبوا الله عدوا بغير علم كذلك زينا لكل أمة عملهم ثم إلى ربهم مرجعهم فينبئهم بما كانوا يعملون. And don't revive those whom they invoke other than Allah, lest they should revile Allah in transgression without knowledge. So we have made the deed of every community attractive in their sight, and to their Lord is their return. Then He will tell them what they were doing. One more far-sighted reason which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Himself has pointed in this ayah is that whatever wrong the bad people did, Allah knows all. He will punish them all for all that they did. Allah doesn't need at all to be told the sin of anyone by anyone. And this very point is told by the beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, "La tasubbu al-amwat فإنهم قد أفضوا إلى ما قدموا، أو كما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم رواه البخاري في كتاب الجنائز." Don't abuse the dead because they have reached what they have done. Then it will be wasted of time to abuse these people, because Allah doesn't need our reporting our information. And there is a story which tells that abusing the dead leads to a battle. فعن سعيد بن جبير يقول أخبرني ابن عباس أن رجلا وقع في أب كان له في الجاهلية فلطمه العباس فجاء قومه فقالوا ليلطمنه كما لطمه فلبسوا السلاح فبلغ ذلك النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فصعد المنبر فقال أيها الناس أي أهل الأرض تعلمون أكرم على الله عز وجل قالوا أنت قال إن العباس مني وأنا منه لا تسبوا موتانا فتوذوا أحياءنا أو كما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم. It is narrated by Sa'id ibn Jubayr. He said that Ibn Abbas told me that a man slandered one of his forefathers from the time of ignorance. Then Abbas slapped him. Then his people came and said, let him slap him as he slapped him. Then they got ready for quarrel and battle. Then the news of that reached the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then he ascended the minbar and said, O people, which of the people of the earth do you know the most noble before Allah? They said, you. Then he said, Abbas belongs to me and I belong to him. Don't abuse our dead, lest you should offend our alive. فجاء القوم فقالوا يا رسول الله نعوذ بالله من غضبك استغفر لنا. Then the people came and said, O Messenger of Allah, we seek refuge with Allah from your anger. Ask Allah to forgive us. In this story it is clear that if a person abuses any dead man, then his alive relatives will be angry, will be affected, then they will take revenge. And it may lead to a battle. Dear educated and intellectual audience, who doesn't know Abu Jahl? Who doesn't know Abu Jahl? His steps to harm Islam, torture Muslims, and even his futile, desperate efforts to kill the beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was killed in the battle of Badr, but when his son Hazrat Ikrimah ibn Abi Jahl wanted to embrace Islam and came to accept Islam, so before he reached the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in advance the beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam announced among his companions, يأتيكم عكرمة بن أبي جهل مؤمنا مهاجرا فلا تسبوا أباه فإن سب الميت يؤذي الحج أو كما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم. Ikramah, the son of Abu Jahl, is coming to you, then don't abuse his father, because abusing the dead offends the alive and doesn't reach the dead. See the reason? The Prophet ﷺ is saying, because abusing the dead offends the alive and doesn't reach the dead. It means that as per the human nature, if we abuse the forefathers of the people, then they will definitely be affected and they will do something wrong which we don't like. If we think that they did bad things, they introduced bad traditions, they took detrimental steps against Islam, then we should abuse. But they must have left their followers, their relatives, the people who may be loving them from the bottom of their heart, and they may be certain that these people were right and we are wrong. Then they will abuse our forefathers, our big personalities, righteous personalities, innocent people, which we don't know. We may say how we can overcome our emotion, our true and right desire to condemn the bad personalities, their bad activities and steps. Then we are very happy to have our ideal. Our ideal, the beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, definitely condemned evils. Rather, he devoted himself, his whole life, to promote truth. But he never committed anything which led to the other evil. The whole history of the beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is a farce or clear. He did condemn bad things, bad tradition. He was sent for this very noble task, but he yet avoided hurting the sentiments of the affected and influenced. So we'll definitely condemn the wrong things, bad traditions, but for that we should not take any step which can create other evils. Instead of eliminating the bad things, we may create other turmoil, other mischiefs in the world. Instead of avoiding something bad, we may be victim of another bad things. May Allah give us tawfiq to eliminate, erase bad tradition, wrong things, condemn bad traditions in the way, in the wise way which our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam took for this noble task. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillah.